9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Say his name and he appears. I believe it said.
What's up, good people? Happy Monday. Happy 16th of March. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, that means it's time to recap Monday Night Raw. It is I, your mayor, and it's a Monday night. So we're going to do what we do best. And it was an interesting show. Interesting show. I think they came in hot because that opening segment, boy, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else after the opening segment. The price of admission for WrestleMania just got completely valid with the announcement that we're now going to bypass all the casualties and we're getting the ruler versus the beast at WrestleMania. Regardless of the outcome, the mayor is relishing in that ass whooping right now. He is relishing in the fact that they made the ruler look like a main event star. I thought it would happen in the Rumble this Sorry about that, peeps. We had a random computer update happen just a second ago. So in Usi way, let's
Say his name and he appears. I believe it.
Said.
All right, peeps. Microsoft's on bullshit, but we rise and we flip the script and move forward. Like I was saying, the way this show on Monday Night Raw opened up, we opened up hot. And it was hard, a very hard act to follow. We opened up the show with Seth Rollins making his claim, actually live on television, no more mass game, stuff like that. He was flanked by all his Power Rangers putties, if anybody remembers that reference. And pretty much said that he created the Vision and he's not going to stop until he destroys the Vision. Kind of sounds similar to what, honestly, it kind of sounds similar to what happened when Edge was trying to destroy the Judgment Day. Got kicked out the group, excommunicado. His goal is to destroy the Vision. Doesn't care if it's just Logan Paul, Theory. Of course, the Bronze are hurt. But if anybody who aligns himself with Paul Heyman, it is now Seth Rollins' mission to destroy them. Saying that it was his worst decision to align himself with Paul Heyman. Rinse and repeat. Where shit got dope is that we actually saw Paul Heyman first time on TV in the past few weeks, looking very disheveled. If anybody remembers what happened to Jay Leno, I think it was last year when he got beat up by the mob, said he had fell down. That's what Paul Heyman looked like tonight. Looked completely defeated, like he hadn't slept, black eye, all the works. And pretty much told Seth Rollins he didn't want to have to push this button, didn't want to do this. Said FAFO, FAFO, FAF5. And he pushed the Brock Lesnar button. Good way to feature Brock Lesnar, because I, for one, have been wondering when we're going to do this city by city, date by date, who's going to accept my open challenge thing for Mania. And you couldn't do that without Paul Heyman being on screen. So here we go. Brock Lesnar comes out and literally takes out every single member of the Seth Rollins disciples. Every masked man gets taken out until it's just Seth Rollins. He's looking like he's going to approach Seth. Our commentator team lets us know that, hey, Seth Rollins is not medically cleared, so he can't physically get into any action, can't get hurt. Don't know when we're going to lose that thing, but enter the ruler. Lights go black. We don't know what's going on. Obafemi starts strutting in the ring and said, I don't care who you are, you will die. He goes in the ring. Seth makes a lunge at Lesnar, distracts him a little bit. Fall from grace powerbomb. Boot on the chest of Lesnar, points to the Mania sign. We are on the way to big meaty men slapping meat at Mania, and it's beautiful. I love that Kofi. I'm actually wearing this shirt for a reason, by the way, because we want to avenge the wrongs of Brock Lesnar taking out every black champion that ever existed. Kofi Kingston said, "Oh yes, avenge us." So I'm excited for this. Not only are we getting our first official black male superstar in a singles main event, and I want to say over 4 or 5 years, but Obafemi was made to look like a star. If you've been following Brock Lesnar's career, he don't really sell for everybody. He has a select few people he sells for. A lot of people were kind of on his ass because he didn't really sell for Obafemi in the Rumble, but this was money, and it made the ruler look like a big deal. I love that he's free agent, not on the brand. We traveling from city to city, show to show, looking for smoke, and he saw his biggest challenge yet, and he pushed that button and said, hey, I want the beast. I want Brock Lesnar. So I feel like this could be dope, and I'm pretty sure as Mania gets closer, me and my teammates here will do predictions. We can see. I feel like since Oba got the leg up here, that it may be like one of those things where Brock wins at Mania. Reminds me of when Omos took on Brock in LA, and then Brock did defeat Omos. And that might have been Omos's first singles loss or something like that. Who's in the chat? What's up, Aaron? Yeah, happy 316 day. Weekend was great. If you saw my stories on Instagram, I actually did go to Revolution last night for AEW. Very dope show. Monday Night Raw was the best 10 out of Attack. Thanks for the comment, Lynette. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Aaron Whitehead? You got some interesting comments. I don't know what you're singing, but okay. But we started off the show very hot, and it was really hard to actually come back from that high that you felt of just listening to the ruler's music and seeing him come out and nerf the beast. It was dope. I don't know how you can go past that, but we did have a stacked show. We saw Roman Reigns enter the arena, talk with the Usos about how he's going to address the WWE Universe, and said that he's going to get his apology for his family, but that his family did the right thing. Usos normally, they've kind of reverted back to their old ways, if you would. Jay is definitely not looking like Yeet Man right now, if that makes sense. Been wearing a lot more black, being a lot more aggressive in his tonality. So we might be looking at a Bloodline revival. That's just what it feels like based on the mannerisms and actions. But they're definitely aligning themselves with Roman Reigns very closely. First match of the night, OG El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. Don't know why we did this on Monday Night Raw. I believe OG El Grande Americano just won the AAA Reyes tournament this past Saturday night. It seemed like a way to kind of let us know where this feud is going. Big Grande, the better El Grande Americano, won this match with the help of his teammates Raya and Bravo by loading up the mask. I still don't like this. I don't know why we're doing this. Like, hey, in the States, it's OG El Grande Americano, and in Mexico and AAA, it's El Grande Americano. We need to pick a side, because if this match is going to happen at Mania, you want to tell the full story of what's going on, involve the Creed brothers and American Made, involve Ivy Now, and kind of like figure this shit out. It kind of felt flat to me. However you feel about OG El Grande Americano, phenomenal wrestler, can do a lot of great things. Would love to see him get another match on the Mania card. But El Grande Americano, that's been on TV the past several months, it's his gimmick now, man. I don't know what to tell anybody. Like, he's done the gimmick better. Has a entourage with him now. It feels like it just makes sense. And I don't know what the writers' room is thinking for WrestleMania, and we're literally a month away. But it feels like we don't know what type of site we're going to do this match on and when we're going to do the mask versus mask. They're just trying to figure it out. But El Grande Americano picks up the win. We did see a vignette from Liv Morgan pretty much telling Finn Balor that that was her plan the entire time, to bide her time to kick Finn out the Judgment Day, because he did want to be a leader. He did think that he was smarter than everybody else, and they took a page out of his playbook. And she big up some of her family, that JD is now out of his shadow. Dom will get his Intercontinental title back. And now Raquel is a future world champion. I don't think she mentioned Roxy. Roxy's not fully back yet. But seems like the Judgment Day will move on. We didn't see Finn Balor tonight, so I expect that to happen next week on Monday Night Raw, or even in AAA this weekend. Maybe he shows up against Dom there. Women's Intercontinental title match. Bayley taking on AJ Lee. Second time these women have ever met. They met when Bayley was still a young upstart. Very good match. It was very slow paced at first. It took them a while to kind of find the rhythm they were looking for. Of course, AJ Lee hasn't wrestled a ton of matches since being back, so naturally there's going to be some ring rust. But who better to be a counterpart in the ring with you than somebody like Bayley, who can wrestle anybody's style? Great match. I think they told a good story. I love the counter from the Shining Wizard that AJ tried to hit, and to Bayley reversing that into the single leg crab. I thought they're a good pairing, and I hope we get to see this match again. Seems like AJ Lee's still going to be destined for Becky Lynch based on what we saw after the match. After commercial break, she got attacked by Becky Lynch, who was there. Bayley did pick up an L here, and I think we're telling the same story we told last year, where Bayley is having a hard time punching her ticket to WrestleMania. Of course, she was in AAA this past weekend answering the open challenge of, I believe, La Flammer. Did come up short there, came up short against AJ Lee, actually tapped. You don't see that too often from Bayley, tapping. But it's a good feather in the cap for AJ Lee to pick up a win against one of the four horsewomen, show that she is the godmother of women's wrestling. And now she's going to take on Becky Lynch again at Mania, I'm sure. Later in the show, just jumping ahead, we did see Bayley kind of down in the dumps. Lyra did tell her to pick her head up and that they should go talk to Pierce. Seems like they're going to be destined to chase the tag team titles together. If you remember last year, Bayley couldn't compete at Mania. Lyra brought in Becky Lynch. They won the tag team titles. So maybe it's natural for them to say, hey, this was supposed to be me and you all along going for these tag team titles. They were met by the Kabuki Warriors, who pretty much said, hey, I would have defeated AJ Lee. You guys need to stay out of my way. Interesting stuff. But Bayley's story seems pretty much the same 2 years in a row, that she cannot get on the Mania card. So it's natural. I mean, Lash and Nia are going to need challengers. Of course, Char Bliss is still there. Kabuki Warriors are there. Now Bayley and Lyra. And, of course, the Bella Twins. Seems like we're going to get a big 5-woman showcase for the tag titles, which there are rumors that there's going to be 6 women's matches on the Mania card. Very good thing if they do go that route, because the women's division is absolutely phenomenal, and there's a lot of great women's storylines that they can tell, even with the short time that we have. Even with the short time we have until WrestleMania. But no, Bayley came up short, but there's still hope for her leading into WrestleMania season. We did see who was talking to Pierce backstage. It was JD McDonough talking to Pierce backstage about how Dom could get his Intercontinental title match. But Pierce was letting JD know that Dom is not medically cleared to compete, especially after what happened this past Saturday in AAA, Reyes. Penta had an open challenge that he had set to defend his title, I believe in his first title defense, which was answered by Dragon Lee. And I'm going to be honest with you, as somebody who was at AEW Revolution last night, this was kind of counter booking, because Andrade and Bandito slapped. It fucking slapped. I'm not going to hold you. I didn't understand why it was so late on the card, but when you talk about blink and you miss it, great ring psychology and storytelling between two men at the top of their game, I thought that was a brilliant match. So this was them saying like, hey, we have dope luchadors too. And this match actually delivered. Contrasting styles. I think Dragon Lee has looked phenomenal as a single star in the past few weeks, even his match against Gunther a couple weeks ago. And I thought this showcased everything that you want Dragon Lee to be. They might have done a disservice from him by pairing him with Rey Mysterio earlier on in his career and with the LWO stuff, because if he just comes out and does that and works in the promo, connecting with the crowd, kind of like what Penta's doing now. When you give Penta a live mic, everybody just gravitates to him. He's going to be a phenomenal Intercontinental champion. Seems like he's going to be a fighting champion that we might get open challenges from now on, same way what we're doing with Melo on Friday Night SmackDown. But this was such a dope match. There were times where I thought Dragon Lee really could go over. Penta dodged the Dragon Lee finisher and then hit the Mexican Destroyer, retains his title, shakes hands with Dragon after the match. But this was a showcase for Dragon Lee, a showcase for Lucha Libre wrestling in the WWE. And it makes me feel like we're getting further away from Rey Mysterio being the most recognizable mask within the WWE world, which is good. They've been trying to do that for so long and build more stars in that space. And I feel like now we're here with Penta being the bigger name now, more popular name. But Dragon Lee's Penta and Dragon Lee is like finally starting to get his just due as a single star on the main roster. We did see Logan Theory and Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Paul Heyman talking backstage about what's the next move, saying that they were going to try to do whatever they can to attack Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman admitted defeat right here, saying that Seth Rollins has the higher ground, he has the upper hand, and that they don't have a plan right now because they don't have leverage. Pretty much ordering Theory and Paul to go after the Usos and go after those tag team titles. That's what they need to do. So we know that the Usos might have a date at WrestleMania to defend those titles against the Vision, because that's their goal. LA Knight did come up to the Usos later in the evening and asked like, hey, if you guys are doing the bloodline thing, I can't rock with y'all, but we're aligned against the Vision. Jay didn't like hearing that. Jimmy understood. Seems like we're doing the yin and yang with the twins here. We don't know which way they're going to go. But Jimmy dapped up LA Knight, said, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Jay wasn't hearing it. But LA Knight let him know, like, hey, the Vision's coming for those tag team titles. Like, I still got you guys back, but I need to know why you guys are taking orders from Roman Reigns again. And Roman Reigns pretty much he didn't put a hit out. He said, hey, all my family members in the bloodline, like, this is your tribal chief talking. do what you got to do between now and WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, do what you got to do. But on WrestleMania that weekend, CM Punk is mine. So I wonder how that storyline is going to build for the next 5 weeks, just because our Solo and the MFT is going to pull up on CM Punk. Is anybody else going to pull up on CM Punk with smoke for the comment about Roman's father? It could be something. It seemed like the Usos are like lockstep with Roman. That we saw them on screen together twice tonight. Roman also let people know that the part-time comments don't affect him because the biggest importance to him is being a full-time father, which you can't be mad at that. I think a lot of people know that Roman has a pretty big family. Want to say at least 5, maybe 6 children. So him earning his keep for years. He's about to have a record-breaking 11th WrestleMania main event. So he shows up during the big season. He's carried the brand before. So the part-timer comments, he said, do not affect him at all. And that anybody could say what he wants, but they'll never be at his level to earn that part-time status. We were hot with the women's matches tonight. We had Natty taking on Maxine Dupree, another culmination of this rivalry after the promo battles we've been seeing the past several weeks and backstage segments. I guess on the live feed for the Netflix stream, you would see the promo battles with Natty and then Maxine, some attacking here and there. The match was good. I think Natty picked up the win, but I think we've kind of diluted what this low-key legend character was. Natty was wrestling on the indies, wrestling in things like Bloodsport, and really taking things back to like a grapple, like dungeon wrestling, mat wrestling style that was like, hey, I am technically more sound than you in this ring. My ring psychology is greater than you because I've have years in this business and I teach people like you. It feels like we're not showcasing that enough, what she does in other brands. So like we waited a year to get Natty's character on screen on WWE. Fans really wanted it, and it feels like they diluted it. I mean, she has the mouth guard, she has the gear, she has the music, but she's not coming to the ring flanked by the cut team, the cornermen, things like that. And then she's not dominant in her matches. She picked up the win via tap, got Maxine to hit her with a sharpshooter, but the student oftentimes looked better than the teacher in this match. And that speaks to what Maxine has done, just learning, owning her craft. Looked great in the ring. The pop-up leg drop, the spinning heel kick. There were times Maxine looked like she was the better wrestler in this match. And that's not a slight to Natty. Natty's doing well by showcasing Maxine. But the low-key legend gimmick, to me, from what I saw outside of WWE, is supposed to be more of a dominant figure in ring. So hopefully we get to that version of Natty more. And I'm pretty sure this rivalry is going to continue from here now that it seems like I think Maxine got one and Natty got one, her lick back as well. But the crowd really didn't sell this match like they could have. So maybe they could have put it in a different spot. Maybe they could have opened with this match. But I just really hope that they allow this character to breathe more. And I mean like breathe by dominant victories, maybe breaking a limb, maybe injuring a superstar, just to showcase how ruthless this version of Natty can be. A couple of things before I talk about the final match and the final segment. We did see, I guess, Grayson Waller got cursed. Kofi Kingston tried to approach Javon Evans again, did make light of Dragon Lee and say like, hey, like you don't want to have this guy dragging you down. He has a track record by him being in other groups. Javon didn't take kindly to that and then told Kofi no, which I'm still holding out hope that that's not a thing, because I think the best thing for Javon Evans and his infectious personality, his youthful exuberance, is the best thing to get New Day out of the mourning, out of the heel turn, and bring back the power of positivity to him and Woods. Kofi did kind of tease that, hey, like Waller pressed him about like, what do you see in this kid? I don't understand. And they said, hey, people ask us, what do we see in you? But you're still here. And then Danhausen tried to join the New Day. They declined. Waller got cursed because Kofi pulled Waller in front of him to shield the point. So we'll see what that means for Grayson Waller. I like the way they sold this well. Danhausen is getting a lot of screen time. I don't know. I don't think this is on a live feed, but there was also a moment where he came out with a t-shirt cannon and gave everybody in the audience shirts. So if that is the true leading seller t-shirt on WWE Shop, they're making sure people have it and people know about Danhausen. And he's been really a bright spot on Raw. I think he's been on SmackDown too, but he's been a bright spot, and it makes sense to have him around to kind of have these different segments. And the curse is actually carrying weight. We saw next Stephanie Vaquer. This is the main event. Vaquer taking on Raquel Rodriguez. They've had great chemistry the past 4 times they faced each other. This was pretty much Raquel trying to get a lick on Stephanie before Mania to soften her up, with Liv being ringside. They had Stephanie enter the ring, and her new theme just don't hit. It don't hit. That the red was on, and I heard the music playing, and at least for like the first 30 seconds until the screen went on to her, I didn't know who was coming out. I thought it might be like a brand new debut. They really got to give her old theme back. I'm not feeling it. It doesn't help her character, and it's not helpful that she has this new theme and she hasn't been prominently featured like the past several weeks. And like she's been in vignettes here or there, backstage segments, maybe came out to no music. But with this new theme, if they're going to allow her to be La Primera like she was, we have to get used to that theme. We have to like digest it and hear it multiple times so we can register that that's her. Because I didn't know who was coming out. I mean, the match was great. I thought the match was exactly what Raquel and Stephanie can deliver when they're given the time. Liv did try to get involved at times, which prompted Io Sky to come out, which I don't know what that's about, because the rumor is that we're getting Io versus Asuka at Mania. But Io Sky came out just to chase down Liv and get pounced by Raquel, and she was out of there. Had no outcome, no effect on the match. Do not like that we don't know what we're doing with Io Sky, considering how large of a 2025 she had. I don't know if that means that she's coming for Liv or Raquel or what, but her inclusion felt like it was very unnecessary. In fact, it had no bearing on the match because Stephanie was able to take out Raquel. And I think she got a roll-up victory over Raquel just to keep her winning streak over Raquel and escape without being jumped by the Judgment Day. Again, don't know why Io had to come out here just to get nerfed. Stephanie looked strong in the match on her own. And now, of course, Liv is worried heading into Mania, despite her promo earlier tonight saying that her family is her allies, and that I think she earlier tonight she insinuated that Stephanie had no friends. So maybe it was one of those things, but it felt diminishing for Io Sky to be put in that space, if I'm being completely honest. Then the moment we were all waiting for, of course, Roman Reigns being in town after 2 weeks after CM Punk said that he was going to bury Roman next to his father. And honestly, all the fans are standing up during this promo battle. And there were times where Roman tried to leave, saying that Phil was just wasting his time. And even CM Punk got into his way and made sure that he couldn't go down the ramp. It didn't seem like it was going to go to blows, one of those promo battles. But it felt flat. It felt like it lacked the punch and the fire based on how fans received a couple weeks ago. Like people were waiting 2 weeks for this, waiting for Roman to really rip into Punk. And all he said was that, hey, like, there's nothing you can do to get under my skin. I know you're trying to get under my skin, but like, you're not meant to be in this position. It's a joke that you're in this position because you're not built for this. Like, you're making us look bad carrying this title around, and that title's going to look better on me because I'm better looking. I do this better than you. I'm a better performer, all those things. Punk got under skin a lot, even saying that he's not going to call him by his real name, not going to call him Joe because it'd be disrespectful to Samoa Joe. It was just a traditional jabs being traded that we've heard before. And when shit hit the fan is when he called Punk old, saying like, hey, like, you're too old. Like, I'm younger than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm faster. There's nothing you can do better than me. You can talk a good game on this mic, but when the bell rings, you can't go because you're old, which allowed Punk to snap, strike Roman, and Roman was smiling as the cameras went off, saying like, "Hey, who's in whose head now?" That was how we closed the show. Kind of felt flat, and it feels kind of disingenuous that your original tribal chief gets striked and doesn't retaliate right then and there. Like, how can your cousins and family look up to you when you don't press the issue on site? Like, I don't know why we had to sit 2 weeks for him to kind of allow CM Punk to talk after he brought his father up. And there was just like, wasn't just smoke from the beginning. It felt like Punk was still trying to egg him on to get him to want to be mad. And it's like, shouldn't he have been mad already? Isn't that what we waited 2 weeks for? So, I mean, it felt flat, but I mean, I guess we'll hype it up. The fact that, hey, CM Punk got hit by the cousins, but CM Punk wanted that smoke from Roman, and he brought the smoke to Roman, punched on Roman, and he didn't do nothing back. That's the story we're going to tell for the next couple weeks until whenever Roman returns. I know Brock Lesnar will be back next week because he got powerbombed to hell, and that was the best part of Monday Night Raw. The ruler seemingly saying, I want the smoke, I want the challenge, you scared when you see me, and I'm going to cast the first stone and strike you. We also, my least favorite part of Monday Night Raw is because we're bringing SmackDown drama to the flagship. I don't know why Michael Cole needs to interview Randy Orton. Why can't Wade Barrett or Joe Tessitore interview Randy Orton on SmackDown? Why is it so urgent that we got to feel sympathetic for Cody, that we have to talk about SmackDown shit on Raw? But there was a segment where we had Randy Orton via satellite talking to somebody on the phone saying like, hey, like I know you saw that. And he didn't give Michael Cole the gratitude of having an actual interview and answering questions, but saying like, hey, like I'm a killer and people have been needing to remind me who I was and all the talk about what happened on Friday. And he pretty much said like, hey, wrestling has more than one royal family, which is Cody's little slogan. Don't know who he's talking to. Of course, Orton is I believe, second generation wrestler, Cowboy Bob Orton being his pops. I don't know if he was talking to, it's far-fetched to think he was talking to the final boss, but it's going to carry weight because we're going to wonder who he was on the phone with, because that's how we saw Randy Orton on screen, is telling that story. But don't like Cody business coming to the flagship. Don't do that. Keep that on Friday. We could have waited a week to find out what the hell Orton was doing, man. And either way, Orton is right in all his transgressions. I don't feel sympathized for Cody whatsoever. Either way, back to Monday Night Raw. Great show. I'll give it I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just because of the ruler. I thought we were going to go from city to city the next 3 weeks before we got an actual challenger. And I kind of would have been here if Brock would have been calling people out and nobody would have answered. And then Oba would have answered the open challenge at Mania. Like, that pop would be enormous. But the fans were chanting Oba, doing the who the whole time he was in the ring. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off for the next several weeks. Oba is going to be your threat. And I liked it. It made me forget about anything that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman had going on with the Vision. This was a nice injection into WrestleMania season. And I'm excited for Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar at Mania now. On top of that, seems like we're going to get tag team turmoil for the women's tag team titles. That's a great thing. And the Vision are going to be gunning for the Usos because they got these tag titles and I don't even think they're carrying them around. I don't even see them on their waist, if I'm being honest. So we got to remind ourselves that the Usos are tag team champions. Don't hold the division up. We got a bunch of tag teams here that need to be showcased and seen. War Raiders, Creed Brothers, I think Los Garzos on SmackDown, but you guys are getting my drift. The New Day. We have tag teams here. Let's use tag team wrestling to our best capability on both shows, on both brands. But we ended the show with Roman Reigns laughing at Punk and Punk being carried by not security, but producers and staff backstage to keep him from being too angry with Roman for calling him old, which he is. But y'all, that is the Monday Night Raw recap. I'm Ben, your mayor. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Microsoft was on BS. Don't know why that happened, but we still was able to get a good recap in on Raw. We'll be back on Wednesday, of course, to talk about all things NXT tomorrow. We got some good stuff going on for NXT, of course. We'll have your AEW watch along on Dynamite for a very stacked Dynamite that I'm pretty sure TK talked about in the media scrum yesterday. A couple big matches there. I think another match with Marina and Tony and some more stuff going on there. And of course, your Honey Night watch along SmackDown on Friday. Of course, WT Live Wednesday and Friday as well. Make sure you guys tap into the Women's Wrestling Archive. Donate whatever you can to it. 50 cents, $1, $5. It helps keep the story of women's wrestling alive from its genesis to date. We want to really honor all these women that have paved the way for Women's Wrestling Month. For Women's History Month in a really big way. And I appreciate that comment, Jordan from Canada. Go Pistons for sure. We need to be winning. Appreciate y'all for joining me in chat. You can catch me on the socials at Said Is The Answer on Instagram and TikTok, as well as Said Says on Twitter. I'll be back with you guys Wednesday for more wrestling talk. Appreciate you guys rocking with me. Good night for now. This is the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.